Hey everyone, at Don here again, or Peter, whichever you prefer. I'm fine with both, but the most important thing is I'm back with another episode of the Bits and Pieces this week, and thank you so much for joining me. It's Thursday, we're here. As I mentioned previously, there's going to be a break here and there because movie news isn't really coming forth very quickly right now. But look, we have horror movie news to get to, so let's get right into it. BloodyDisgusting.com is our first visit. Hellraiser is getting an HBO series with David Gordon Green directing and Michael Dougherty writing. Published on April 27, 2020 by John Squires. There's Pinhead and his fellow Cenobites, in addition to David Bruckner directed film that was announced earlier this month. Now I had to look into that because I had heard that news before. I didn't cover it here on the Bits and Pieces because truth be told, I'm not the biggest Pinhead / Hellraiser fan, but I think there's 9 movies in the franchise. 9 movies. It's like, I have not seen them all. Doug Bradley isn't playing it still, is he? They've got to have recast or remade or rebooted. Fill me in the comments, Hellraiser fans. Fill me in that on the comments. In terms of Hellraiser, Deadline now reports tonight that Hellraiser is also getting a TV series courtesy of HBO. David Gordon Green from Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Like, Jesus. How many times is this guy going to be mentioned on these sites? I had mentioned before, side rant time, I mentioned before about the new Halloween movies, because we had Halloween and then we've got Halloween Kills coming up and Halloween Ends the following year, that I was going to report on everything I heard coming out of that, but all it is pumping the tires, so I had to slam the brakes on. I had to slow that locomotive down, because I was sick of saying David Gordon Green, David Gordon Green, David Gordon Green, but Jason Blumhouse, the dude just PRs. I think he's more of like a promo guy than anything. Side rant over. Let's get right in. Back to the article. Is directing the pilot and several more initial episodes, and Michael Dougherty from Trick or Treat, Krampus, Godzilla, King of the Monsters is on board to write alongside Mark Verheerden from Battlestar Galactica and Heroes. Now, Michael Dougherty, I'm excited that he is involved in this because I do enjoy Trick or Treat. I do enjoy Krampus. I know I might be in the minority when it comes to that because it's more of a horror comedy, but I thought it was really well done. Godzilla, King of the Monsters was far superior to the 2014 entry, in my opinion, IMO. So I'm excited that he's involved in this, so I might have to check it out. The Deadline details that the idea is to create an elevated continuation and expansion of the well-established Hellraiser mythology. It is by no means a remake, but rather assumes the past mythology to be a given. The centerpiece remains Pinhead, the pincushion-headed, merciless leader of the Cenobites, the formerly humans turned demon that live in an extra-dimensional realm and are activated through a puzzle box called the Lament configuration, or the box. Watch out for the box, Pinhead, watch out for the box. The Cenobites come from hell to harvest human souls and keep balance between good and evil. The HBO series is said to be completely unconnected to the Spyglass David Bruckner film. It will be at the Clive Barker created franchise's very first foray into the world of television. Executive producers include David Gordon Green, David Gordon Green, David Gordon Green, Michael Dougherty, Mark Verheerden, Dan Farah, Vertigo's Entertainment, Roy Lee, Lawrence Kappen, David Solomon, Eric Gardner, Andrew Farah, Adam Salzman, Danny McBride. I knew it! More Blumhouse Halloween alumni involved in the production of this. Jason Blum's involved in this somehow. I know he is. Jody Hill and Brandon James. But like I said, don't know very much about this TV show so far, but we will continue to follow it here on the Bits and Pieces other than what we got in that article. That's it for this article. Hellraiser is getting an HBO series with David Gordon Green, David Gordon Green, David Gordon Green directing and Michael Dougherty writing. Let's get on to the next one. And for our next article, this one's for you, Cub. Threw this one in. Dark Universe Horror Database is our next destination. Daft Punk is on board to score Dario Argento's The New Giallo, Black Glasses, starring Asia Argento. A new Dario Argento movie has been announced, and Asia's gonna star in it? Color me surprised. Jeez. Never would have expected that. Published on April 27th, 2020 by Nick Bond. And there's... Let's just get into the article. Not licensed. BK, Back to the Future. Back to the Future. Back in early January, Dark Universe told you that Dario Argento, the Italian godfather of Giallo, is preparing to direct a brand new horror film titled Occhiali Neri, or Black Glasses, which will star his daughter, Asia Argento. And today, we got our hands on an exclusive report that says legendary French electronic music duo Daft Punk are on board to create the score. This is from the article from that interview. It will be my return to crime films, Argento revealed to Republica. It's the adventures in nocturnal Rome of a Chinese girl and child. In the second part, the escapes takes them to the rocky, bushy countryside of Lazio. It's different from the sweetness of the Tuscan valleys, but for me, it's beautiful. They are my admirers. They know all cinema. I think he's talking about Daft Punk here. Argento told the site. They heard from French friends that I was shooting a new film and called me to say, we want to work with you. Argento also revealed that the duo will be sending him the first track soon, while also noting the duo that his script, is one of the most interesting. So stay tuned for more Occhiali Neri Black Glasses news soon. Here on the Dark Universe, thank you so much as always. And here on the Bits and Pieces, if you guys want me to cover this, I will cover it further. That was hard holding it together with the picture of the two down at the bottom. I almost cracked there, but that was a good test for me. But I wanted to throw this in, add a little bit of levity, because I know everyone has been in like serious mode for so long now, weeks into months. No matter what side of the debate you're on in terms of what we're going through, we can all agree, I think, that a little levity helps ease the tension, ease the pain, and sets us focused on to the next one. So I'm going to stop rambling, stop improving, get back to the article. Thank you, Dark Universe. Daft Punk on board to score Dario Argento's new Giallo Black Glasses starring Asia Argento. Let's get on to the next one. And for our next article, we're going to go back to ihorror.com. Actually, we're going to go to ihorror.com because I wasn't here before. I had an article set up for last week's stream at ihorror.com, and I wasn't able to use it because we had stream issues, and I do apologize for that for those who were able to join me. But I want to give this site some love because I've seen some good stories on here, and I'm excited about this one, but I got some bones to pick too. So let's get right into it. Title of the article is Goosebumps is getting a fresh television series reboot. This was written by Timothy Rawls on April 28, 2020. There has been a resurgence of anthology-based horror entertainment lately, and perhaps the one that deserves a television reboot the most is R.L. Stine's reboot. Different cartoon, different child series from the 90s. Goosebumps, which according to Deadline is getting one. In 1995, Canada ran a TV show based on teen horror stories which lasted 3 seasons. Now Scholastic Entertainment is pairing with Goosebumps and Goosebumps 2 movie producers Neil H. Moritz for a new development. I thought Goosebumps was produced by Nickelodeon. I thought Goosebumps was a Nickelodeon show, and I think the show he's referring to is one of my personal favorites, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And that ran for a bit more than 3 seasons. I think it ran for close to 7 seasons. It was like the early 2000s before I stopped watching that thing. So, Timothy Rawls, I didn't check my facts, but I'm going to double check them when we get off here. But I'm almost certain that Goosebumps was made by Nickelodeon, and the 1995 Canadian show you're talking about is Are You Afraid of the Dark? And it had way more than 3 seasons, but bone picked. Moving on. Goosebumps has been keeping kids and families on the edge of their seat for nearly 30 years, and we're very excited to partner with Sony Pictures Television and Neil H. Moritz to bring the enduring brand to life in a fresh new way for today's generation, said Lola Lucchese, Scholastic Entertainment President and Chief Strategy Officer. From the world-famous book series to a full-scale licensing program and even live-action movies starring Jack Black, Goosebumps remains wildly popular, and we look forward to presenting new adventures to give fans even more goosebumps. Let's stop there for a minute, because I gotta give love where it's due. I enjoyed the live action Goosebumps. I don't really like Jack Black. There's not many things I can watch him in. This was one of them. This one's, I don't know. He was good in that role, and I enjoyed it. Moving on. The books are staples for teenage readership, with over 60 books, including the original series, and a number of additional titles made for a spin-off set. Goosebumps eventually headed to the big screen in 2 films starring Jack Black's also produced Moreira. For those who can't wait for this new incarnation, the original series is available on Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, and Vudu. I love making Goosebump movies and can't wait to bring even more R.L. Stine's incredible stories to life through a high-end television series that speaks to both adults and kids alike. So I'm going to check that out. I'm going to check the research out to make sure I'm not wrong, because I could be incorrect. I'm thinking I'm not, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt right now until I check it. But I am excited to check that out. That's it for this article. Goosebumps getting a fresh television series reboot. Thank you, iHorror.com. Welcome to the Bits and Pieces, and hope to see you again. Let's get on to the next one. And for our last article, we're going to go back to bloodydisgusting.com. Title of the article is, "You can now purchase your own life-size 8-foot-tall xenomorph statue for a mere $8,000, people." Published on April 24th, 2020. A couple days aged now, but I wanted to include it because this article has some fun. Let's have some fun with it. Written by John Squires. Thank you as always, Bloody Disgusting. There's a picture of Alien. I'm pretty sure it's the alien from the first Alien. There's a pretty good chance that nobody reading this right now has $8,000 in expendable cash. These are, after all, tough financial times in the most unprecedented of ways. But we figure it was worth mentioning anyways that the Hollywood Collectibles Group is currently offering up a life-size statue of the original Alien's big chap, measuring a massive 8 feet tall. So it is life-size. And yes, this bad boy is selling for $7,999. That's $1 cheaper than what they said in the title of the article. Through the Big Bad Toy Store, a $1,600, why would you put the cents if it's rounded? 1,600.00 non-refundable down payment is required to pre-order with a late 2020 ship date expected. $1,600? What if this project falls through? You're dropping $1,600 as a non-refundable down payment. I don't know. I have made some stupid decisions when it comes to buying merchandise, games, movies, you name it in my life, but I don't know about that. From the original 1979 Alien and based off the H.R. Geiger design for the film, Hollywood Collectibles Group presents the life-size Big Chap statue. Standing about 8 feet tall, Big Chap has been constructed from fiberglass and mixed media and stands atop an alien-themed display base. Mixed media, does that mean it's like books, CDs, and records? Maybe a couple cassette tapes, 8-track tapes, if you remember what those are, kids. Painstakingly recreated by an Aliens SFX professional with meticulous attention to detail, the Xeno's terrifying presence has been captured perfectly. To ensure authenticity, the major components of the body can trace their lineage back to the molds used to create the original movie costume. That is sweet. They're using the mold from the original costume to build this. $1,600, well spent. What was I saying early? Where do I put my deposit down for this? Only 150 statues of these will be produced, each one hand painted. Gaze upon the beast's otherworldly nightmare beauty below. So we can't really zoom in on any of these, but that looks pretty sweet. That's the 8 feet tall legitimate thing right there. That looks pretty tall. So the detail, hand painted, only 150 made. Wow, that is nice. I thought we would have some fun with this article, but I'm impressed. Like, whoever's buying that, that's a well-made purchase. Anyways, that's it for this article, and that's it for this week's episode of the Bits and Pieces. Thank you as always so much for watching, tuning in, and supporting the Bits and Pieces and my channel. And while you're here, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'll be back next week, hopefully, if not the following week, with more bits and pieces. And until then, I'll talk to you soon.